Hey guys, and welcome back to another week of Casual Chaos. This week I have one of my Special Forces castmates, Ravi Patel. Welcome to Casual Chaos.
Hey Gio, what's up? I'm so excited.
So excited for you to be here. First, I feel like we should start how nobody on the cast could pronounce your name.
But you just did it. Were
I
people
did.
mispronouncing it constantly? I don't think I even noticed.
Oh, you
So in the
totally
zone.
did. You did your whole thing where it's like, guys, come on, remember lovey dovey,
Oh,
Ravi.
you know what's crazy? I really don't remember a lot of things from that experience.
No
And
way.
I don't know why. I feel like I told you this at dinner the other night. Like I think I don't know. I either I'm dumb or I just like have like blocked out a lot of what happened. I mean, I know I looked like I was having like the time of my life the entire time, but I actually was like low key really dialed in.
No, I mean, and what was funny because I felt like you were very in the moment
Mhm.
and just kind
No,
of going through each thing, but you were also so like you were not serious at all. You were like the light of the
y-
entire cast.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I had so much fun with the road, but that's what I'm saying. I was actually like I was having the time of my life, but I was actually really focused at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I was really worried about getting sleep at all times. I was always thinking about recovery,
Oh
and like
yeah.
anytime we did a challenge, I was like
Ravi
pretty
slept the
dialed in.
most
I
out of all
slept the
of us.
most. Wait, I need to tell your listeners before this gets any further, before they turn it off, that you are going to surprise people. I don't know what you've told them so far, but
Haven't
fans
told
of
them
Gia,
much.
I cannot wait for you guys to watch Gia in the show.
No.
Whatever you think is going to happen, you are wrong. She is. I wish I could say more right now,
I
but you
know.
are going to destroy like whatever expectations these people have, and I cannot wait for them to. By the way, I was one of those people, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's my way of getting through things in general is through like having fun and laughing. But I'm also like I trained for I was working out like 13 times, 12, 13 times a week for 2 months going into this thing.
12,
And
13 times a week.
yeah, like literally two, 3 times a day I was working out.
Are
Like it
you
was
kidding?
crazy.
Okay, we have to get into all of that. So, how did this opportunity come to you? You're on
I'm
Fox.
on, yeah, like this trailer I'm in is for we're shooting season 4 of Animal Control, which is a half-hour comedy on Fox.
We're going to talk about animal control and also the Lego Masters show.
Lego Masters just came out. That was great. So I basically have been meeting with Fox. Joel McHale is one of my co-stars on the show. He hosts like everything, and he's killing it. And I was like, "Hey, Joel, I kind of want to be like you." And he's like, "Well, you got to host some shows." I said, "Okay." So I talked to Fox. They said, "What's your ideal show?" I said, "I want to make as much money in as little time. That's my ideal show." They said, "Great." They go, "You just need to start doing a lot of things." I said, "Great." They said, "How's Lego Masters?" I go, "Great. I'd love that. I have kids. I want to do stuff with kids." So that's how this came up. Special Forces. They threw it at me, and by the way, I'm saying for money, but like I would have done all this stuff for free. This is like,
Yeah.
they said, "Hey, do you want to do Special Forces?" I watch a lot of football, so I knew already what this was because they run a lot of commercials during it. And I was like, "Yeah, that looks like the experience of a lifetime." I grew up not getting to do like these like adventure camps that a lot of people did. Like I don't know, I can't remember the name of any of them, but I was like, "Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat." Meanwhile, my wife, my mother-in-law, my mother, my agents, they're like, "Nope, do not do this. You're gonna get hurt. Big mistake." My wife was for certain I was gonna like come back broken. And to her credit, I often do lately when I play sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it happened. And I think it was 2 months before we left for Morocco.
So, you knew 2 months prior to leaving.
I knew about it like I think 2.5, 3 months,
Oh,
and then
wow.
I agreed to it 2 months prior, and then I got trainers the next day and
Right
started going
away.
hard.
I
Yeah,
only knew about a month out.
that's wild.
The Deckers only knew 10 days out.
Yeah, but them, they are like stunning and already shredded. Like we're not worried about that. I mean, The Deckers like come off like you meet them and you're like, oh, you're like professionally hot people, the two of you. You just like
No, they
are
really
probably
are.
always like, and by the way, I'm good friends with them, love them. Eric Decker is never wearing a shirt. Okay. He is professionally just like all he does is just like rumble around and exercise and like do yard work. And he's just like a stud full time.
No, they're like the hottest couple ever.
Mm-hmm.
They really are.
Wait, so did you get to prepare?
Well, I work out pretty much every day, but
Obviously.
right before Special Forces, my cousin had her wedding in Italy. So I was eating pasta leading up to Special Forces. So I wouldn't say I was fully like locked in, like
Mm-hmm.
definitely wasn't climbing mountains on
Mm-hmm.
higher elevation like Cody
Mm-hmm.
Brown and wearing a weighted vest. But
Okay.
I I was doing a lot of walking in Italy, so at least I was getting my cardio in, but you definitely saw it like for the cardio aspect. For the strength, I was great. And even for some
Mm-hmm.
of the obstacles, like I'm pretty fearless when it comes to that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I saw it in the cardio and I was like, I definitely should have trained harder when it came to the cardio aspect of it because
Yeah.
I was winded.
What was the most difficult cardio thing that you feel like you had to do? Mine was on the first day. Well,
Really?
I would
Yeah,
say the
let's talk
first.
about it. Let's talk about the first day. The first episode of Special Forces has already come out. So you guys saw us through the entire, I guess that was our initiation.
Yeah, we wake up at 4 a.m. in a hotel, like a nice hotel. Okay.
Okay,
And next
it
thing you
was
know, we're on a
not
bus.
it was
It was
not
not
that
nice, but
nice.
in retrospect, it was the best hotel I've ever been in. After we ended up living in a tent, and
No, literally. I had a
so we're.
roach in my hotel room though.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, no, no. Like, Ravi, you don't understand. I think I was freaking myself out so much that we were leaving the next day that I saw the roach. I call my mom. I go, you need to get the in here right now. She comes into my room. I start hysterically crying. I call room service or like the cleaning service and I go, you really need to come in here. Like there's roaches in my room. They literally did nothing. She comes in with a broom, and all
Mhm.
she does is she looks at me like I have 10 heads. She sweeps the bug up and leaves. I go, oh my God.
First of all, you and your mom are a sitcom. Like the two of you together. I don't know. I feel like every story. It's so funny. But then, what a great setup for. Oh, like there's a roach in my hotel room. To you're gonna live like actual military people in a tent with a dirt floor and
Yeah.
like the grossest food I've ever seen. Like those sausage links still haunt me.
Still haunt me. I tell everyone I
Yeah.
never ate dinner. Lunch was my favorite meal.
Yeah, I was really that was another place where I was super strategic. Like everyone was just in there chomping, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of protein here. I'm gonna get some veggies here, and I might have a bite or two of bread just to get some carbs. And then I always stole a bunch of pieces of fruit, and I
Yep.
took them with me and I put them in my bag for snacks later.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, so our last night in the hotel, we were
Hmm.
woken up at 4 a.m. I
Yeah.
think some people had crazy times too, like even
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah. And then we're on this bus, right? Like this shuttle, and we don't know where we're going, and everyone's getting to meet each other, which is nice, or at least the people you're next to. Next thing you know, there's some sort of I don't know, like renegade invasion on the
Yeah, like
bus
we were basically under attack.
under a siege. Yeah, and then next we have bags over our heads. We're thrown to the ground. I heard some people got kind of hurt during that part. Did
Well,
you get?
because yeah, I answered them back and
Hmm.
they were so mad. But all of a sudden I hear my mom like kind of yell because they pulled her hair and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, mom. And then they did it to me and they like smashed me to the ground.
Hmm.
And then getting off the bus,
Hmm.
I don't know who it was because I had the bag over my head.
Hmm.
Whoever it was, like, hit me like
Hmm.
so hard. And I was
What?
like, Ow. That's all I said was ow.
He said, "Ow." And what did they say? Did they get mad at you?
They literally were like, shut the f up. This is not a drill.
Ow.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like too stunned to speak. That's all I could think of. Yeah, and then we were separated into two groups. I
They
was with
march us into
you.
the woods. First of all, we did a workout in the mud, right?
Yeah, but we got separated. So I and
Oh,
my
we were
mom and
separated
I,
before that.
yeah, we were separated. So they put
Oh, I
us
didn't
into
realize
two
that.
groups.
Hmm.
I was fully under the impression that, my mom and I kind of thought, okay, they're probably going to separate us at some point. But they did it right off the jump to like really freak out some of the couples and like ruffle the feathers a little bit. The only couple that stayed together were Jesse and Eric. And so I get into the van and I'm like hyperventilating and I'm like crying. And I'm like, Mom, I had Bree and Randall in my car. And Bree was too scared to even speak. Randall goes, "Hey G, it's Randall. Like I got you. Just calm down. I got you."
He's the best.
He's
That guy. He's a
awesome.
teddy bear. Yeah,
Uh,
this stuff with you and your mom, I mean, they were smart to put you guys in it together because you guys were really concerned about each other the entire time. Like, that's going
yeah.
to be a massive storyline in the show, for sure. You guys are so cute. It's unbelievable. I
No,
can't wait for
thank
people to
you.
see you and your mom. When you and your mom, the combat moment with you and your mom is going to be the coolest, sweetest beat.
Like
And a bit
legendary,
of a
but
head scratcher.
no, definitely. Definitely. But then yeah, we get into these cars. We're stranded in the middle of the woods.
The middle of the woods. No, but then we get on helicopters. Wait. I don't know if you were in the same group. Were you in the other group?
I was in your group. Remember,
You were in
we
my
ate
group.
those gross sandwiches on the top of the mountain,
Yes.
and you were
Yes.
telling me that I needed to eat the sandwich, otherwise I was
Yes.
gonna
And you
faint.
didn't want to. You didn't want to. Because you were still in like Beverly Hills or wherever in your head. And I'm like, no, you need to eat this sandwich. I know it doesn't taste good. I understand it's not a good sandwich. And I'm like, but
I
you
was
need to
like,
eat it.
it was literally me, Ravi, and Johnny, and we're sitting there, and I go, guys, like,
Yeah.
I'm eating lettuce, and this
Yeah.
meat looks like it's infested.
Oh, it was gross. And Johnny wasn't eating or drinking water,
No,
which came
nothing.
around to bite him in the because
Yeah,
he
because
definitely had a heat stroke at the end of that hill thing. That was
oh my
crazy.
God. Well, it came to the point where I was standing at the top of the hill and helping everyone like bring the
Hmm.
bags over, but I
Hmm.
saw Johnny and I was like genuinely scared. Like he couldn't even
Oh, I
breathe.
was worried. No,
Yeah.
I was worried for him. He clearly had been like chain smoking for weeks. Like he was not in good shape.
No.
Uh, no, I was worried for Johnny most of the time. He actually
Yeah.
did so much better than I think any of us thought he would after that first
Oh
day.
yeah, he pushed
Uh,
himself. He was
yeah, he
great.
did.
He was awesome.
He did. But yeah, running those bags up that hill was that. And then there's another exercise that people haven't seen yet, which was bananas that, with the stretcher.
Yeah, with the
Um,
stretcher.
those were the two, like, from like a pure fitness standpoint, that was like, oh, like my training, like I'm glad I did all this training.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like it was still incredibly, it was like so difficult, but at that point my trainers had me doing so, like I got more psyched for this. Like I feel like there's two parts of this thing that made it really difficult. One was leading up to it, everyone tried to scare me about how difficult it was. Everyone who had done it before said, it's tougher off camera than it is on camera. Then like even leading up to the thing, like talking to producers or like the hotel, like the anticipation of it, it was like you get really psyched thinking like, what am I
Oh
about to do?
yeah.
Like this seems like really psychotic. I got massages every day at the hotel, by the way,
Oh, I know
right
you
before.
did. And I was so jealous
I was
because
like all about recovery.
we get to our grounds and Ruby's like, "Yeah, you guys didn't get massages?" I go, "No." I go, "No, I didn't. How did you manage to do this?" He
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, it was so easy. I got them every morning." I go, "I tried." I go, "I tried to book them."
It was the first, probably because I had taken them all. Literally, when I landed, the first thing I did was I call and I booked massages for every day, sometimes twice a day, and I'm doing yoga And it was just like, oh, like, because I was so psyched. I really like people had me thinking, like, I'm like, what could possibly, and I was like on YouTube in my hotel looking up, like, what's the best way to swim when you're wearing boots? What do I need to do with underwater immersion? And like, I was just like reading. And then in my pre-interview, they're like, they're like, so how are you with hand-to-hand combat? And I'm like, I've never done that before. They're like, have you seen the show? I go, yeah, I've seen an episode or two. They go, I go, is that in every season? They go, yeah. So then I run back to my hotel.
So you didn't watch a season full through.
No, no, I didn't watch the
Okay.
season all the way through. Yeah, which was the dumbest part of the preparation, considering I
Yeah.
did all this other stuff. And I went back to my hotel. This was the day before we left to go to the desert. And I found a Moroccan guy who didn't speak English. He was a boxing
No,
trainer, and
you
I
didn't.
went to him. Yeah, and I did like a half hour, you know, boxing training, which I'm so glad I did.
I mean, that's crazy that you found someone to do this with you.
Yeah, I did it like right away. It was crazy, but I'm glad I did it because I was like, okay, now I know what it feels like to wear these gloves and to
Yeah.
like swing, and then
Wait, and finding out all of this that you really were kind of tweaking. You were keeping me calm, but you were
well,
tweaking before we
that's
were
what I'm
going.
saying. I am low key. I'm like very competitive. And by the
Yeah.
way, you are too. You're like your whole vibe is I'm the happy sweetheart. Like you come off and I think because of that, everyone assumes that you're soft. That
Yeah.
like I had you. I told you this. I told you this. I had you as one of the first down. Okay? Because all I knew about you was someone told me you were had something to do with reality TV,
Hmm.
and then you look at you and I'm like, oh, this is like a sweet, like prissy girl. Like there's no way. And then it turns out you're a brawler. It was awesome.
Honestly, one of the best things that Ravi said to me, he goes, Gia, I've never seen somebody cry and do the challenge at the same time.
You before that was how you like some people stretch, for to warm up. Yours was okay, let's cry. Okay, great. And then you'd be crying and going hard at the same time.
Yeah.
It was really a fascinating method.
No, it was wild. I don't even know how I think I couldn't control myself because I'm like, I'm dying. I'm literally dying and I feel like I'm breaking. But
I I think it's like a toughness, like a dichotomy of toughness that you have, where it's like you have a part of you that's like, I don't want to do this, and then there's a really tough side of you that's like, we're doing this, and so all of like you're dragging the one who's crying with you
yeah,
along the way. I mean, it was impressive.
yeah. Well, it was that constant battle of all right, just push through. There's only this much
Yeah,
left, push through. And that was how
yeah,
I got through it to like keep telling myself.
yeah.
But I know when we were on the course, because you have three kids, you have twins,
Mm,
and then you had a little baby behind too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the
How
twins are the babies,
the
and then
twins are the babies.
I have an 8-year old. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. How was it leaving them? I know it was hard because you had home
yeah.
renovations, you had a lot going
Yeah, yeah,
on,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
felt so guilty leaving your family.
Oh, I felt terrible. Well, my wife already didn't want me to go, right? And
Yeah,
then I was like, I got to do this. And then we had to move homes while I was in Morocco. So my wife did it without me.
that's
The
crazy.
babies are
I
like
mean,
a
I would
year.
have wanted to kill you too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then on top of that, the night before we're leaving, while you were dealing with roaches, I'm like texting good night and goodbye to my wife, and she's like, the movers didn't show up. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, so now I just called the handyman and him and his wife are gonna come help me. And so the three of them just moved what they could. They didn't even finish getting to move because they're not movers. And then she's like, also, Kaya's got a fever, one of the babies.
Oh
And
my
I was like,
God.
oh my God. Anyway, baby, I gotta get some sleep. I'm off to the desert. I'll talk to you in a week or two. I'm so sorry.
Oh
It was the
my
worst
God.
way. It was like the worst
The
thing that could
worst way to
happen.
leave her because I mean, if everything was at least situated, like the movers came, obviously
Yeah.
everything was good with your kids,
Hmm.
leaving just knowing that one of your kids had a fever, you probably felt
Yeah.
horrible. Then that she had to
Yes.
deal with everything alone and that everything
Yeah.
wasn't settled at home, you
Hmm.
were probably like, how am I supposed to give up my phone and just leave this tomorrow?
No, and I was already thinking, okay, I'm just gonna do this for a couple days and then go home. I was already thinking that because I'm like that this is I can't do this that long. And then when that
Yeah.
happened, I'm like, oh God, now I feel really terrible. Um, but that was another reason I think why I had so much fun at this thing was because like I got some of the best sleep I'd gotten in months at
You
Special
were,
Forces. I'm the
you
first person
know,
to go to Special Forces and be like, this is better than the rest of my life. Like I was like,
and
I
I
feel
have to
great.
say, I like, and clearly, obviously, those canvas cots that we were sleeping on, they clearly do that for a reason because they're sleeping on those for months at a time. They have to be kind of good for you and kind of good for your sleep. I
Yeah,
mean,
I believe it. Yeah. Oh,
you had your
they were
earplugs on, you had your sleeping mask on. You were like sleeping beauty the whole
okay.
time.
So people need to know. People need to know that okay. So you have to remember, I I'm coming off of just like not getting sleep at home. And then I'm also going through this moment in middle age where all my main concern going into this was what am I going to be like? Like, I'm going to be tired. I need to get sleep because if I don't get a full night of sleep, it feels worse than a hangover. And I also can't drink anymore, but that wasn't a problem, right? So I said, I said to myself, I'm going to prioritize sleep. I'm going to tell them I have migraines, which is 50% true, and I need to bring in ibuprofen, and I also need stuff to like. I get migraines when I don't sleep, which is also true. So I'm going to prioritize sleep and bring in melatonin, a sleep mask, and earplugs. And I also brought in earplugs for the entire cast. I brought a
Yes,
50
you
pack of
did.
earplugs because I was also super worried about snoring and waking other people up, and I didn't want to piss everyone off. So I just brought all these things in, and I'm sure in the show I look hilarious because I got earplugs and a sleep mask. Like you'd
You
think
with the
I'm in a
sleep
five-star hotel.
mask, Nick with the baby powder. There was just so many funny moments. But you and Nick, seriously, we needed you guys. Like we wouldn't have survived without you guys. You were fully like the light in the room and you guys made us laugh every single day.
How great is that dude? He's so
Awesome.
funny.
So
He is
funny.
so
Yeah, but
funny.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit either. You're hilarious too. You guys
Thanks.
together were the funniest duo. And I think everyone's going to
Yeah.
love seeing that too, because you guys
Ah,
just were hilarious.
I think that is going to be one of the funniest moments in the show. I don't want to share what it is, but I think you've heard this story. I mean, it was so funny. I'm also now realizing was day one when I got turned into like the camp ambassador, and
Yeah.
I was in my underwear at one point, and I'm trying to wasn't I talking to them in my underwear at some point?
Yeah, because you, because you couldn't get your pants on in time, so you ran
That's right. And I was just talking to them in my pants.
out.
Oh my God.
You were duty recruit.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
Duty
then that's
recruit.
when it was, I mean, obviously people know you as a comedian, but
Mhm.
did you ever, and I know the answer to this, but just for the listeners, like what did you do to crack them? I felt like you always tried to kind of sneak some jokes or have this laugh with them. And sometimes I think they knew that you weren't getting phased. And I think that was the
Yeah.
problem because they were
Yeah.
trying to break you, but
Yeah.
nothing that they were doing, you were just like, all right, like nothing phased you.
So I feel like you have some of this too. Like I feel like I saw this. You have to tell me if it's true, but I I don't like authority to begin with, and I really don't like I think I reverted to who I was when I was in school, which is like you trying to control me just because you think you're in charge, but for no other reason. Like I'm gonna give you the finger till you go f yourself, right? So I was such a smart ass growing up. I always got in trouble with teachers, and I was kind of a smart And that's kind of what I became here. Like I never wanted these guys to think that they had really any power over me. And I
Yeah.
told them, I was very open to them. I go, listen, you can't break me. It's not going to happen. And that obviously probably didn't help. But
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, I was just like a smart, I'm also just naturally my coping mechanism is to be funny and to make
Yeah.
comments. And I'm also not used to not being able to talk. So like that was the hardest part of the show is like when you have to stand there and listen to them, you're not allowed to move at all, even though there's a fly on your face and that kind of stuff was I'm just used to commenting and dealing and moving and I obviously have ADD. So like I don't know. What about you? Didn't I feel like you were similar because I feel like you got in trouble as well for making
Oh,
comments.
yeah, I got in trouble all the time, but it would be for little
Yeah,
things like that. There would be a
yeah,
fly flying on my face. I would go like this, and they would be like 18, leave the fly alone. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna swat it away. And then it was just little things. Like the one day I tried to break Q, I
Mm-hmm.
was walking along the grounds. I think I might have been duty recruit at the time because
Mm-hmm.
I think I was alone and he was closing the gate. And I was like, all right, Q, let's drop the act. I know you kind of like me. I was like, let's have a conversation for a minute. And I think I caught him so off guard that he actually started laughing. And I was like, ah, I got you.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a
He
good dude.
really was. Yeah, no, he really
Yeah,
is.
he kept calling me doo doo face. I just didn't understand. I was like, ah, do I look like doo doo? Is that really? I'm like, do I need to? It's just so mean. Why
But
are you
I
calling me doo doo face?
like, where did doo doo face come from? Because it stemmed from something.
Well, we were in one of those, lineups at our base camp, and they were just going around this is on day one, going around trying to intimidate people, and they're just pointing people out. And I think maybe I moved or said something, which is, I mean, I think me, you, and Bree probably got in trouble the most.
Yeah,
I would
I would
say
say
probably me,
so.
you, and Bree. And they were yelling at me, and he was like, it was like a guy, it was like a second grader trying to cut someone down and being bad at it. And
Yeah.
I started laughing when he did it because he goes, you know, poo poo face, doo doo face, and I was like, oof, ugh, that was a rough one. But then everyone started laughing because it was such a bad cut down, and then it stuck. And he just started calling us doo doo face because we just like I mean, he started calling me doo doo face. Oh my god, it was so funny,
That was hilarious because it's
so funny.
he didn't stop. That's all you were the whole time.
Yeah, he just kept. Oh, it was so funny, so
Uh,
funny.
but
Um,
nothing that the DS said to you really got to you. But
no,
besides
I
like
honestly, I didn't cry once. I don't think I got shaken once either. Like I was just not, and I don't know if that's just like, if I
it,
think it probably had a lot to do with the competitive nature in me, where I'm like,
yeah,
I'm never gonna let these guys think that they're shaking me.
no, definitely. The special force cast, it was basically like Nashville edition. You were half of the cast was from Nashville.
Yeah, it
Were
was
you in
crazy.
contact with Sean Johnson or Jesse or any of them before
Yeah.
coming onto base?
So Sean and we have friends in common
Okay.
that somehow connected that we were both gonna be there. So I had met Sean, not really, but kind of,
Okay.
just over text, and she was like the nicest, sweetest person. And so I'd gotten to know her just briefly in that way. And then once the competition started, she turned into just the most fierce, intimidating competitor, not sweet at all,
Yeah.
like scary, locked in. And you're like, oh, this is like, you've got that like Kobe level of competitiveness in you that's
Oh
like
yeah.
explains why you've accomplished what you've accomplished.
100%. I mean, even going back to day one, she led us through that
Hmm.
entire challenge. She
Yeah.
was the team leader and
Yeah.
she had that mentality the whole time.
Yeah.
And just watching her, she always amazed me. But like,
Hmm.
for example, even though we did very well during that challenge, I was in the car with her going back to base that day, and she
Hmm.
was beating herself up because she wanted us to finish that challenge, I think, faster or more efficient. There was
Hmm.
something that went wrong, but we still still won that challenge
Hmm.
on the
Hmm.
first day, but something about it wasn't what she wanted. And it's
Hmm.
that competitiveness feeling like she always
Hmm.
needs to be like, always do things the right way. And it's that
Hmm.
mentality that she grew up with as a gymnast and going to the
Yeah.
Olympics at 15. So you really saw those attributes in her. And
Hmm.
I always tried to make her feel better. And I was like, don't beat yourself up. You just led this entire team. Like you
Yeah.
killed it. But she was hard on herself and she was a
What was
real
she mad about
competitor.
that day? I'm curious. Like, did she feel like she didn't work hard enough on the
Yeah.
hill, or
Yeah. She felt
she
like
felt
she
like she
didn't
could have
do
pushed herself
enough.
harder?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like she always felt that she could do better. So when she was in those situations where she felt like she could do better, she would really beat herself up about it.
Hmm.
And I always found that so fascinating because I was like, that definitely was instilled in you when you were younger, competing as a gymnast, that you always had to do better.
Yeah.
Cause she led us the entire time.
Oh yeah. Her and Andrew were both like she's more of like a psychopath than he is, but they both were locked in. Like they
Yeah.
both were like she's another level above him in terms of how locked in she was, but they were
Oh
as a
my God,
couple
wait.
very
Yeah,
clearly from the first moment.
Was Andrew on our side that day? No. Or
I
was
don't think he
he?
was. I don't think he
No, I don't think
was.
so. I think Jesse and Eric were
I
the only
remember
couple
Cody.
that stayed together.
I remember Cody was, and I that
Yeah.
was the first time I thought he must be on amphetamines because he was racing up and down that hill, and I'm like, this is not. I was like, I'm in really good shape, and I'm almost positive I'm crushing it right now. And he was like zipping by me almost like a cartoon, and I was like, something's wrong. This guy just did meth. That's the only way this could be possibly happening. Like flying by professional athletes.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you see him on that mountain?
Yeah.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen. And he was like that throughout the competition. That guy
The whole
deserves
time.
whatever gold medal. He deserves like his training. Did you talk to him about his training? That guy's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, he said that he would climb and hike mountains at a higher elevation
You
so
should
that
interview him. He's the most interesting guy in the whole cast. Sorry. Sorry. Higher elevation. Sorry. He did handstands for warm ups. He did a handstand where he walked around on a handstand as a warm up in the gym. And he would work out for 3 hours a day or something like that, 4 hours.
crazy. And he always had a weighted vest. I had to say
Yes.
his cardio for his age, his listen, the state that he was in and how physically fit he was for his age was wildly impressive. Wildly impressive.
Wildly impressive. I'm not kidding. I think he is the most fascinating guy in the cast. Like the way first of all, obviously he comes from, the oddest background of anyone, I would say. But then
Yeah.
the way he prepared and just like the little thing, he's just got a lot of little, uh, he's just, I don't know, he's an eccentric dude.
Yeah, I mean
I really, I,
it definitely comes from his background. And for the most part on special forces, he was, he honestly seemed like he was very caring. He honestly looked out for most of us at when he could. There were certain points where I felt like, well, because I was partnered with him at some time.
listeners, Cody is the guy who was in the, what was it, something
He
wives,
he
Mormon
was in
wives, what's the
Sister
show?
Wives.
Sister Wives. Okay, I just feel like the listeners need to know this. They probably know the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he faces like a lot of controversy. And I just feel like in some of the challenges, because he was so physically fit and he really was probably one of the most physically fit out of all of us.
100%.
Yeah. And he was advanced. He could just speed through these challenges and obviously there were some of us who were a little weaker and not as strong. So
Hmm.
like especially, the girls, as much as a lot of us powered through, we had our struggles. And at points sometimes I realized that maybe he wasn't the best team player, but he tried. He really tried.
Yeah, it's going to that because he was also the most controversial part of the cast. I think you could have figured that out within the first hour or two because he's so eccentric.
Yeah.
But my experience with him was so different, I think, from many other people's. Maybe because I wasn't sleeping on the same side of the tent as him, but like I, I found him to just be. I thought like his personality is like a earnest, 12-year-old boy, like a guy who's
Yeah.
really uh, excited to be there and is kind of always saying what he's thinking in his head out loud. But you know, is always giving everyone unsolicited tips on what needs to happen next. But really means well. But I think he rubbed I know he rubbed at least a couple people the wrong way. But I didn't actually see any of that. Did you have beef with him, or were you tight with him?
I didn't have actual beef with him, but I was in a challenge with him. Brie got a little annoyed because, and you'll have to wait and see, but it was again kind of just showing those characteristics that was he just wasn't being the best team player. And because he felt that he could, go and excel during that challenge. And maybe we were kind of
Mm,
holding him back a little bit. So I think in certain situations, I saw where he would come out, especially also, I think a lot of the viewers are going to see how he kind of misses having that father role. And I think he struggles with that because I don't really know where his kids are, but I think he only lives with one of his kids. But he
yeah.
really, you could tell that he missed that father role and, doing
Hmm.
that. And he always looked for somebody to look after. So
Hmm.
he did have really great things about him. And then I obviously think you saw his struggles, which just come from the way he grew up and how he was raised. And I think he did a good job.
I think he just his people skills, social emotional intelligence are probably not, you know, where he wants them to be. And he also strikes me as a guy who's going through like I think it appears that he's like going through a somewhat beautiful kind of like he's trying to reinvent himself
Yeah.
and grow up socially, emotionally in a way that I don't know that he's given the time before. So I don't know. I obviously saw him through a rosier lens than everyone else, but I have that tendency, and my wife hates that about me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's you always see the good in people and it's not a bad thing. I mean, I guess sometimes it could bite you in the ass, but when we were
Yeah.
on special forces, it wasn't like that. I think we all kind of saw the light. I didn't know who Cody was before going on this show, and then did I really know all of the NFL players? Not really. Did I know that Nick Young was an NBA player? Like, not really.
No.
I really met everybody for the first time and when we did this show. The
So wait, you
only
got a list? You
person,
got a list of most of the cast before you showed up?
yeah, like I kind of figured it out
Wow, that's awesome.
because my
Yeah.
mom knew that Jesse was on it because they
Uh-huh.
did Dancing with the Stars together and they
Yeah.
figured it out. And
Gotcha.
then
Oh, and then
um
Jesse knew a lot. I know Jesse
Jesse,
knew a lot. She
yeah,
was
Jesse
she was
knew a lot.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jesse fed us a lot of information.
Yeah.
And then once we were at that last hotel before going to base,
Hmm.
I pretty much saw a lot of people.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
when we were running into everyone, we were kind of all, okay, who do you got so far? Who is here? And so then
Yeah.
we all kind of, I like basically formed a list on my phone. Like as we were
Gotcha.
sitting at that last hotel, I'm like looking around. I'm like, okay.
Gotcha.
I'm like, all right, this person, that person. So I kind
Yeah.
of put it together. And then my manager kind of gave me the rundown. And then we had that last meeting with Fox at
Mm-hmm.
that hotel before going to base. So
Mm-hmm.
there were some inklings of, how to feel about certain people, but the only person I ever met in person and genuinely knew before doing special forces was Brianna.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's a good one to already know. Wait, what were
Yeah.
your like first impressions, like like expectations versus reality of the entire cast? Because I showed up not really knowing the cast. Someone had sent me like a list, but I just kind of glanced at it and didn't really
Yeah.
know anyone's names. And I guess I'm just lazy. I didn't even look the names. So I didn't really know. I didn't really know. I knew all the football players because I watch
Yeah.
football. But I was just expecting, oh, some of these people probably suck. because that's what happens in reality shows. And I was wrong. I didn't think anyone sucked. Turns out everyone's awesome.
Yeah.
But
No,
the
I
biggest shock
agree.
for me was finding out that everyone in the show, like, I'm pretty much the only one on the show who doesn't have a social media following. Like, everyone has like massive. I was like, oh, like everyone's just like a big deal. I had no idea. That was kind of my experience with everyone. That and just think everyone's really nice. What I feel like you probably have a juicier because you knew things before. You probably had, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, not really. Through like, I really didn't know anybody's background for the most part, besides the athletes. And then even meeting Mark for the first time, knew he was an influencer. But I just, I kind of got to know everyone for who they were. And
Hmm.
I was same like you. I was really shocked and everyone how nice everyone was and
Hmm.
just how we all connected, I feel like so quick. And
Hmm.
we were like a family in like 2 days, which was nuts.
Hmm.
And
It
we
was great.
just,
It was crazy how quickly we all felt so close. Like it was
yeah.
really. I don't even know how to explain it. It was so fast when we first got to camp and we're in that tent, and it's crazy how much the show is not like a like it's it's exactly like it looks off camera. Like it's
Oh yeah.
we really doing this thing the entire time. But when we first got in that tent, I was looking around and I'm like, okay, who's going to be the crazy people? And I was like, oh, well, I guess it's these reality people. It was you, your mom, and Cody.
Yeah,
I
and then
think those are the ones.
also Eva is on Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, but I don't think I knew. She had told me she was an actress,
Well,
so I
she
didn't
is.
know.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
on a
so
lot of
I didn't
Amazon
realize.
Prime
Yeah.
things.
So I didn't realize that she was also, but I just pinned you three as like, oh, those are going to be the ones that turn out to be psychos, and especially your mom, because I'm like, oh, like she's an older woman, and I just like, oh, like oh, I know why, because I had walked by her at the hotel, and she was like, she's really done up, and when I walked by her at the hotel, I was like, oh, that's got to be a reality star that's on the show. That's what I thought to myself.
Yeah,
So I just assumed like, and then obviously I couldn't have been more wrong. Like you and your mom, you guys are the ones that I got texted about the most after I did it too.
really.
Where yeah, people just know who you are. People are like, "Oh my God, you didn't tell me you were on the show with the Giudices," and I was like, yeah. How do you know 'em?" They're like, "Oh, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, what do you have to say?" I'm like, "Oh, they're really nice. I don't know what to tell you. I like them a lot."
Yeah.
And I don't think people expect that. And I was,
No, they don't. And it's hard with reality TV because it's all about what cards you're dealt that season, like what's coming at you, what drama is being put in place. But like
yeah,
aside from all that, my mom is like the sweetest person and so many fans and so many people say that about
yeah,
her when they meet her just like on the
yeah,
street or just like a
yes,
regular day.
lovely.
And yeah, I mean, and I'm just kind of forming. I mean, my name has been out there because I've kind of been a part of the Real Housewives of New
Hmm.
Jersey, but now doing my own reality show, I'm
Yeah,
trying to now pave my path. And
sure, yeah.
it's an interesting journey for sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I
But
mean,
then
people were.
how did you feel about that? Because I mean, you're like a natural storyteller and with your writing and acting, like was this weird being on a reality TV show? Did you feel like you were telling a story or were you just living in the moment and you didn't even recognize what was going on?
Look, the truth is, I was first of all, I was a little concerned because people around me had made me concerned of like, okay, is this a good idea to even be on a show like this as someone who has an acting career, right?
Yeah.
And as a filmmaker and all these things, and again, I was advised by a lot of people to not do the show for that reason as well, and so I started to think, oh, like maybe they're right. Um, but I think this is like I was like, this is the experience of a lifetime.
It really
And I'm
was.
not going to I don't give a, like, if someone wants to judge me because like first of all, I think that's such an antiquated way of thinking. I don't think it's even true, right? Like
Yeah.
I think if you do this show, you're a bad. I think you're awesome and interesting and cool. And now having done it, it was one of the absolute best experiences of my life. It's everything I thought it could be and more. And it gave me an excuse to get these trainers and I made like these friends that are going to be my friends, I think, for a lifetime. And like, we, it is crazy. Like we all felt like a family. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was everything I think I hoped it could be.
I felt like you were really just like unapologetically yourself though. I felt like you really weren't cautious of the
Okay,
cameras
so
being
yeah,
around.
okay, so it has less to do with caution, and this is where my wife was really concerned, rightfully, was that I'm not able to. I know I'm an actor. I'm not able to not be myself, and
Yeah.
so I forgot that there's cameras on us 24/7, 24/7.
24/7. I feel like it's
Unaware.
such a real and authentic show because
Yes,
they don't miss a beat.
they
And
don't
then
miss a beat,
obviously what they do with the editing, but they
and
have
they hear everything. So
everything.
even when you're telling secrets, they heard them all. The mics
Yeah.
are unbelievable. And so that's the part that I'm really worried about is like, what are they going to put in there editing wise? Because I was whispering secrets constantly. They heard it all. I am constantly joking around. And sometimes out of context, my jokes probably won't look good on television.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about that. My wife was really worried. Because I first thing I told her, I go, yeah, I was like, it's funny. I completely forgot there were cameras. Like, I was like, honestly, like that didn't even occur to me most of the time. And she's like, oh, Ravi, like, what did you do? Like, because I say stupid. Like, she has to give
I
me a speech before we go on dates. She's like, don't say anything stupid, you know.
It's so fun. But honestly, I feel like people are gonna see that that's just who you are. And hopefully, even through this podcast, that people can kind of watch after the first episode and just see how much we're laughing right now. Like, this is the energy that you brought to us at the camp. So it was pure authentic.
It was, well, I appreciate it. Were you able to edit yourself? Like, are you, I feel like you're probably more aware of the cameras because you like kind of do that for a living.
You know what? And it was so weird because as much as yes, I was aware that they were there, I
Hmm.
felt so comfortable with you guys. I was
Hmm.
like, I'm just spilling everything. I don't know. I just feel so vulnerable here. It was weird. I felt I really didn't pay any attention to them being there.
Do you think that they're going to show the part where we all are sitting in a circle and like everyone's opening up their souls? That was wild.
I know.
They're definitely going to show that, right?
But they said that they weren't and that it was
They're
like
but they're
for
liars.
us.
They're liars. They're
I know.
liars.
And then you could see kind of in that moment though, where everyone kind of put their guard up a little bit because people's lives who fully weren't aired out for I guess the whole world to know, they were kind of
Hmm.
hesitant to say certain things, which I get it.
Hmm.
I mean, protect your peace and protect your family. On Special Forces, who did you bond with first?
Well, I don't know that my memory's good enough to think who I bonded with
Or the
first.
most?
I think about people I bonded with the most. Uh, I feel like you and I had some very warm, sweet moments. I think you're just the kind of person. I think you're just that kind of person, though. I feel like everyone probably felt with you the way I felt about you. I think you just have like a warmth to you that, like I immediately felt close to you within like minutes. So I was like, okay, like she's with me.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Deckers, I became very like Eric Decker and we were like next to each other on cots, so
Yeah,
we were kind of like roommates. And he's just like this. I mean, he and I have become like best buddies. Like we like work out
definitely.
together and play pickleball together. We're like,
Wait, Jesse literally tells me that you just show up and you're like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for Eric.
yeah. Oh yeah, did you guys have a good conversation
Y-
when you guys talked?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they were awesome.
yeah. I show up. I mean, like I go there. We hang out all the time. So I think Eric and I became. really close buddies. We just, I don't know, we just fit together well. Randall was probably the person now that I'm thinking about it, he was the guy that I got close to first
Hmm.
because he and I rode together from the hotel to the desert on day one.
Okay.
And he and I, it was
So
just me and
you
him in the
had that
car in the
5 hour
dark.
car ride.
Whatever, was that 5 hours? Is that how long that was?
Oh,
No, 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 no,
oh
no.
no, it was
From
like from the
that was
last hotel.
yeah, that was like maybe
Okay,
an hour or
40.
something. Yeah, but I just remember he and I both like we were getting to meet each other for the first time and getting to know
Yeah.
each other, and he's just an awesome, sweet dude. And, the only moment I remember is like we stopped. There was like a breakfast thing, and I came back and I reveal like a kiwi. I brought two kiwis, and I go, "Hey man, these are superfoods." And I gave him one. I go, "We're gonna be okay." So
Yeah.
we were laughing about
Just
that.
that like sense of comfort. Like I got
Yeah,
you.
I got us kiwis, so we're gonna be fine.
Don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, and then the guy I think I got close to the most towards the end was probably Nick. Because he and
For
I were never
sure.
actually together at the same time. We were
Yeah.
actually only together in the group setting for the most part. But then, I mean, I think he and I were just like, we would just sometimes we'd be joking around together a lot.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
You guys were
he
the
made me laugh
comedians
so
of the
much.
group.
Oh my
You all
God.
made us laugh.
Uh,
But I mean, I think really, people are going to be so shocked about your strength. You were so strong. You really had that
you
competitive
too.
sense. But what was something that you learned about yourself before concluding this episode? What was something that Special Forces taught you about yourself?
Everyone asks me that question. At this point, I should have a better answer. Can you give me your answer? What did you learn about yourself?
Honestly, for me, it let me kind of let go of a lot of things. I just felt like during the time there, I let go of a lot. I faced all of my fears. So now I feel like I can do
Hmm.
absolutely anything. I'm like, test me. Oh, I
Hmm.
got it. Like, I'm good. And I mean, I think it taught me like to have patience and just like the way we all bonded with each other. Like you always got to have the person you're standing with's back.
Hmm.
So it taught me that.
That's awesome. Those are good lessons. I mean, I think it taught me that I still have problems with authority. Uh, it taught me that no country would really win a war with me at the front. I think it taught me I have great respect for what those
They've
people do
done.
for yeah, I have it really that was probably the best lesson of the whole thing was just
It really was. You're right.
the deep understanding for what uh, people in any military have to go through, much less the highest levels of it. Um, and then I also just think it was really affirming in terms of look, I you know I've kind of just always had this complex where I feel I think I talk about this in the show, but like where I felt like kind of like I have something to prove physically, mentally, and to be in a group of people and to feel like, oh, I can hang. I might not be the strongest guy or the smartest guy, but I don't think anyone is going to be mentally tougher than me. And to have a place where I felt like I could prove that was, it was more than just gratifying. I think I actually probably needed that because there's a confidence that I got out of that felt really good.
100%.
Don't you don't you
I
feel that
think
way
it
about yourself?
boosted everyone's self-esteem. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah,
really tested our bodies to things that we will never do again. But it was kind of like, good job, like a nice pat on
yeah,
the back.
yeah. I
And
mean, just
I feel like it also showed us all a sense of like worthiness, like, okay, we are
yeah,
worth it. Like this is great. It kind of, the
yeah.
whole show also, I feel like gave us, even though, sometimes in this world that we're all in, and we're public figures and influencers, NFL players, you get kind of lost and you kind of look for your purpose again. And I feel like this show really does show you purpose as well.
I totally agree. And it just, yeah, and it's also like, I want to do more of these now. I'm
I
also
do
really
too.
motivated now to get in the best, like, right now I'm in my trailer right now. I have, like I keep dumbbells in my trailer.
I love
Even if
that.
I can get like a 10-minute workout, I am so obsessed with whatever wherever I'm headed with this fitness thing. I love it. And I think this show will end up being a huge kind of turning point for me physically as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Well, Ravi, thank you so much for coming on Casual Chaos. This was so fun. I love laughing with you. But guys, do not forget Special Forces World's Toughest Test is out now every Thursday at 9, 8 Central on Fox and Hulu. Thank you, Ravi, again. This was so fun. I love laughing with
buddy.
you.
I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.